Hello everyone. Sorry, having a bit of technical difficulties. Not quite sure what this is doing to me. Why it's being silly. Let's give that a try. Is this working? No, what is this doing? Oh, I'm sorry to the I know. I'm trying to get this working, but for some reason this just is not. That is there correctly. We'll just go ahead and okay. Copy. Paste. Video bit rate. Okay. Oi. What is this doing? Okay. I don't know why the portrait live is not loading. Hello? Is anything loading? Uh-huh. You're up. Why are you not working? Isn't activating for some reason. Okay. Delete. And this isn't working either. Why is that not working? What is happening? Activate. Hello? Nothing is working. Okay. No, Twitch isn't gonna be up today. I'm trying. Now that's working. Why is that? Why is that so delayed? I'm getting TikTok started in a moment. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure YouTube is going good first before I get up on TikTok, and it's just not loading correctly. And I'm not sure why. Public, done. It could be, or it's because YouTube just settled something. Okay, let's try this one more time. I'm trying to see, So OBS has been having issues. Oh, there it is. Now it's running. Okay. Has been having issues where it wasn't like keeping YouTube and Twitch going at the same time. So I'm trying to see if it's a YouTube issue or a Twitch issue. We'll find out. Now we're getting the TikTok streets running. Technical difficulties will get me every time. It's so annoying. It is very annoying when stuff glitches out. Yeah. Well, I mean, why won't that pull that up? Okay, there it is. Arize, come on now. There we go. That is the craziest comment I've seen. Hold on. Let me I gotta pop that in there. That is so funny. Working bum. Who is Megan? Tell me that. Which Megan? Hey Wiggles, hey Dawn, hey Crystal. Sorry I'm a little bit late. My technical difficulties were running rampant. And it just ain't, that just was not it for me. Was not it for me. Politi mommy? Who dat? Yeah, don't vote for felonies. I mean, if that floats your boat, you do what you want, I guess, but... Yee. Okay, Yoshi. Dude, man is legit crazy, but hey. You don't know who it is? Come on now. You know what? I actually am curious. Let me run this up like this. Today. And then I'll keep that running. Hello? Nope, that's not what I wanted at all. Hello? You guys, it's so fun putting this stuff together. Okay, and now we'll open up one more. Hello, okay, can you open up another one? No? You just want to be complicated? Okay, we'll try not to be complicated today. Benedict Arnold's? I don't know what that means. Oh, Dawn, I'm so sorry. I missed the gem gun. Thank you. I appreciate that. I must have not been looking up, which it does happen. Okay. I usually am looking up and not looking down because short people problems. Short jokes. Oh, thanks, Chad. I'm like, I don't understand the reference, which should not surprise anybody. I miss a lot of things. So, just how my brain works sometimes. All right, let's get the tippy taps going. Get some heart me's in. Oh, I had this on loose all day today. Totally forgot that I muted my own microphone for a second. Woo. Guys, you have no idea. It's so much fun doing all of this stuff. So much fun. No, I do not. It's just a joke. Oh, I was just wondering, working bum, like which Megan you meant, because there's some lore that goes to that one. No, Summer is not here today, Racers. She is not in the room. In fact, none of the animals are in the room with me today. They all are kind of just very rude. They're all like, nah, we're just gonna run around and be elsewhere. Very rude. Okay, well, I mean, I would appreciate it, Joey. I just want to give everyone a friendly reminder. Next, in just 2 days, starts October, and that is my birthday month. So just keep that in mind. My birthday is not until the end of the month, on the 28th, but just keep that in mind. Summer is the name of a dog, Joey. Summer is the name of our dog. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah. My birthday is on October 28th. And I'm going to keep it running. Like, I'm going to have it up on the screen somewhere the entire time. Awesome, user. Anyone that calls in, I guess. And I guess we have some good news coming out of the White House today that, and I don't think I've had a chance to like look into it, but we saw that Trump met with Netanyahu and they have a peace deal that Hamas is looking over. So hopefully something comes out of that. Honest to goodness, I really do. Hope something comes out of that. Oh man, I need the pen. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Hello!
Dude, you are so obsessed that you created a whole new number. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there? Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How old are you?
I am 12 years old. I subscribe to your channel, but I'm not trying to talk. I just want to say, like, I agree with you, and I love watching your channel.
Aw, thanks, kiddo. And I hope you have a good rest of your Monday. Do your homework.
You too. I already did. I already finished it for this whole week.
There you go. Be an overachiever. Bye. That was cute. That was so cute. Yeah, that person's like so obsessed. They made a whole new phone number because I blocked the other one, just to call in again. And yeah, that kids can be cute. Stop feeding the trolls. That wasn't a troll. That was a supporter of sorts. Hi, how old are you?
Fuck up, bitch. I'll fucking punch you. Not actually. Not actually.
Yeah, that's about what I thought. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
I sure am.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Okay. And are you still supporting Trump?
I want to say my opinion has probably changed. I just want to call this out. I really appreciate what you're doing. I sit more to the center than I do the right, but I think it's great that people like you are coming out here and educating people. I just think you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So I'll let you get back to the show. I hope you have a good day. I just wanted you to know you're doing good work out here, and you're opening dialogue between two sides of the country that desperately still need that open dialogue.
Well, thank you. I believe so too, so I appreciate that as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
You too. All right. Well, hopefully we get some MAGA calling in so we can talk to them. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Nigger.
Why do
awesome.
anybody? Oh, thank you, Joey, for the 10 and the kissy face. We'll take that as a early happy birthday. Thank you. We're just at 29 days early. That sounds right. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
How old are you?
I'm 38.
And are you still supporting Trump?
Negative.
Negative. All right. Well, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 45.
45. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. And what has you questioning your support of Donald Trump or the MAGA movement today?
Well, that I don't know if I have a question about it. I just think that mainly I'm happy to see that he's going after the people that went after General Flynn and other dirty cops. So it hardens my support, really.
Okay. So are you willing and able to accept that Donald Trump is actively lying to you?
He may have lied. I mean, when he said that Comey was a leaker and a liar, it's going to be proven in court. So it might have been something that he was just getting out ahead of himself. But I also realize that, you know, by some standards, everything's a lie.
Okay, so let's try. Can you tell me 3 lies that Donald Trump has told since he was inaugurated into office?
Like I said, it's hard for me to pinpoint what's a lie because, like I said, it's like saying that, hey, I'm going to ace this test and I got a B minus, and that makes me a liar, right? So I don't know if that's like quite. I think he's just
No,
got high hopes.
that's an overestimation
high-minded.
of your own self. When you're like, I'm gonna ace this test, and then when you get the results back, that's B minus. That's not a lie. That was an overestimating yourself or underestimating the difficulty of the test before you went in. That's not a lie.
Even better, I could get like an independent. I could take my test grade and get an independent. You know, maybe like the ICC, and they could look at it and they'd say, you know what, actually, on further review, you did ace that test, and bringing charges against your teacher, that would be something. And then I just have to support what they say without any kind of, discrimination or any kind of like, just take what they say as facts. It'd be great. I would tell everyone I got an A.
Yeah, that's not a lie. That's it's odd. So let's try this. Let's try this for a second. Do you Donald Trump loves to talk about tariffs, and he says that the foreign governments pay the tariffs to the United States government. Who pays the tariffs to the United States government?
Well, according to what you're letting me know, and I appreciate you letting us know that the importer is paying the tariffs, and by extension, whatever country they're importing from probably has to lower the price of what they're selling or sell less of it. So otherwise, yeah, they're passing it on to the consumer.
Gotcha. So that would actually
good.
be a lie. Would be Donald Trump telling the American people that that the other government, that we are placing tariffs on that country, right? So the other country is paying the United States government that 15, 20, 30, 35% tariff that we've placed on other countries. That would be a lie.
I said the importer. So the importer,
yeah.
let's just say it's France. You like to use France as an example. France is paying 15% tariffs, and they sell less because the importer says, hey, look, I have to pay this tariff to the U.S. government for every bottle of champagne that I import. Therefore, I either lower my order or you lower the price. And either way, I'm probably going to pass it on to the consumer because that's just capitalism. I get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So no, you were right about that. It's I'm totally good with that idea that it is passed on to the importer, and then the exporter either sells at a lower cost or they sell less.
TikTok,
so it kind of balances out, in my opinion.
And get the likes up to 25,000. Thank you. Okay, so we've acknowledged that he's lying to the American people about tariffs and who pays them.
Well, I think it's his way of just saying that they pay it in the end because they either lower their prices for what they're importing to America, and he's going to hit tariffs on movies made overseas, which I thought was pretty good. That's brilliant. That was the latest news. You make a movie overseas, you're paying a tariff. Sounds outstanding.
Yeah, they're not.
I don't want to read subtitles. They're coming. It's breaking news.
Yeah, no, that's already been out. He already true socialed it, being like tariffs on everybody starting effective October 1st. The last 3 days, right? Talked about putting tariffs on furniture made in other countries, parts for furniture, parts that go into your freaking bathroom, your linoleum and stuff like that. Also put tariffs on pharmaceuticals that are made internationally, forgetting the fact that we already don't have the infrastructure in the United States to manufacture pharmaceuticals here. And even then, the ones that are already made here are already well overpriced, and Donald Trump rolled back Medicaid and Medicare's ability to negotiate down prices, so for medicine. So that's great. And cost of medication is going to go up. That's going to be fantastic.
Oh, we got Obamacare, don't we?
Oh yeah, that's going to go up too, because the Republicans in the Senate refused to extend the ACA credit that actually kept the prices where they were, where some people are paying $0 premiums because they don't make enough money.
Well, I'm pretty sure no one in America goes without health care. I swear to God, if you go into the emergency room, you're taken care of. I guarantee it. Me, have you been in an emergency room lately?
Thank you, Eva. So that's triage care. That's not health insurance. Triage care is what happens when something is absolutely wrong with you and you need care now. People are lacking in preventative care. That's what it is, right? So in that, the only thing that, do you know what EMTALA is by chance?
It's a manufacturer. They used to make Impalas, Chevy Impalas.
No, EMTALA. 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 Not Impala, EMTALA.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
No worries. I hear the background noise. Do you happen to know what EMTALA is?
That's my blinker. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
No.
I'm not crashing out over it or anything. We're good. You don't know what, then that's fine. A lot of people don't know what EMTALA is. So that's actually the federal law that requires medical rooms, like so emergency rooms, emergency departments, to stabilize their patients enough for them to go home. It doesn't require them to fix any issues. So like if you come in with, I don't know, you're coming in for a heart attack, all they are required to do is evaluate you, make sure that you're no longer experiencing chest pain, see what the cause of the heart attack might have been, maybe, just depends on what test they're allowed to run. But predominantly, they're just required to make sure that you're no longer experiencing pain and that you're no longer actively in a heart attack. And if they don't feel like you require an overnight stay, you go home the same day. That's all EMTALA is. It's not treating the issues. It's not finding the underlying root cause. It's only required to stabilize you, to get you back out that door and running, just so capitalism can keep on going.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's kind of why.
That's not health care. So that's triage care, sir.
Well, I think you're onto something there. I will give you that. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm just looking at the overall picture, and yeah, I really don't see a strong reason why I'd stop supporting him. I mean, like you said, your qualification of a lie. I mean, I could turn around and say, well, if I take everything at face value, everything's a lie.
No, that's not even my qualification of a lie. Your idea of a lie was absolutely bananas. I actually agree with what Lee said. Said, wow, they're trying to say lying is a well depends, which is basically what you just said. No, Donald Trump actively telling the American people that foreign governments are paying the United States government the tariff cost is in fact a blatant lie that no economist is going to agree with, right? Economics 101 doesn't agree with that. That's not my definition of a lie. That is literally a lie. It is meant to deceive, right? He's saying it as a way to deceive people in America, right? That's a lie. The intention is to deceive.
I follow your train of thought there, and I'm just saying that I think what he's saying is they'll pay for it by importing less, and their goods and services will be less desirable, and will maybe manufacture more in America. I know we can't make champagne because it has to be in one region of France. I gotta follow that. It'll be sparkling wine, and we'll just make more in America, and it'll all even out, in my opinion.
Sure, no. So tell me what car manufacturing has come back to what car manufacturing has come back to the United States then?
They are rolling out. They were going to end all because as you're maybe aware of, they can't without an act of Congress actually take back all the EPA standards that were like choking out horsepower and choking out the manufacturers, making Elon Musk rich with all the carbon credits that he was able to sell when he was actually selling cars, which he's not anymore. But they pretty much said, well, we can't make the emission standards less because that would take an act of Congress, but we're just going to make the fine zero, big old zero. So guess what? The Hemi's coming back, and they were going to stop making the Dodge 250s in Hamtramck, Michigan, but they kept it open. So that's one example I can think of.
No, what United States car manufacturer come back to the United States? That's not you didn't answer the question I asked.
They didn't come back. You're right.
Okay, let's try this. Has any United States car manufacturer broke new ground?
I'm going to guess no, because 9 months is probably I don't know how it works. I would think that takes a lot of planning and a lot of, so yeah, in 4 years, they might make plans to do it. I mean, we've seen it with Foxconn. They were going to make flat screen TVs in Wisconsin. Biden won. They kind of all said, well, factors aren't there to do it. So they kind of rolled that baby back. But, yeah, it ebbs and flows. I get it.
Yeah, so if the tariffs are meant to bring back jobs to the United States of America, can you tell me why in the month of August we lost 12,000 manufacturing jobs alone? Just in the month of August. Why did we lose 12,000?
12,000 manufacturing jobs. I believe that wholeheartedly. I don't discredit the reporting. I just think it takes a little time to actually have the policies turn the tide of 4 years of anti-business policy.
There was no anti-business policy, sir. We actually had more car manufacturers breaking new ground under the Biden administration than we had seen under either one of the Trump terms. So that's so interesting.
Well, I do follow auto manufacturing as a hobby, but I'll tell you this: the carbon credits that Elon was selling to GM, Ford, they're no longer available. He's not selling enough cars, and that's why he broke with Trump, because no more welfare for Elon. He told him pretty much, hey, we're not going to do the $7,500 credit for EV sales. And guess what? EV cars, every manufacturer is going to stop building them because apparently no one wants them. Even with the $7,500 credit, they weren't selling.
Okay. Well,
we want V8s, we want horsepower. And gas is projected to go down. So
yay, just like it does this time every year. No surprise there.
Russia's flooding the market, so the Middle East is in big trouble with their economy. They're flooding the market. Russia's funding their war. They really are in a bad spot.
All right, man. Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, drive safe, dude. I can't anymore. Lee, thank you. Yeah, says I do not have health insurance. How USA now? USA is right now. I cannot afford to get help. Yeah, that's kind of the problem. And I think that's why I was like, people go without health care. Getting triage care in an emergency department is not health care. It's not. You guys will, those that were questioning this, we'll see it in a second. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Hi, yes.
Hi, how old are you?
26.
26. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yeah, because
You are?
he's gonna release the Epstein files any day now. Just you bet. He's totally gonna release them.
Okay. You sure?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
No doubt in my mind.
2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Always in
I
2
mean,
weeks.
That's what I thought 2 weeks ago, but this time for real.
What's your favorite thing about Donald Trump?
Probably the fact that he always tells the truth.
Always tells the truth. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Does he ever come to visit you?
I mean, no.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Actually said some pretty awful things about the city I live in and like some of my neighbors who happen to be immigrants, but I'm sure he was just referring to different immigrants.
Yep, definitely. All right, well, I don't think you're a real person, so I appreciate your time though. All right, bye. Okay. Sorry guys, it was it was a joke from yesterday. Thank you, Squirrel. Thank you for the Squirrel Cup from Star for the 900 joules. I had to do the, I promised I was gonna do my ring 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 banana phone. Couldn't help it. Had to do it. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yeah.
Awesome. How old are you?
Is this the TikTok Live?
Yeah. How old are you?
Oh, hi, how are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Awesome. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
For only one reason.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
So, I'm a new voter, right? And this past election was the first ever time that I voted. So here's what made me choose Trump, and it's for only one reason, and it's pretty simple. I'm joining the military in March, and one thing when I watched Trump the last time he was the president was the way he was able to like talk to others in the form of world leaders. The fact that he was able to converse with them in a way that you can get things kind of done. And with me signing a combat job in the army, I would feel more safe with him. Just because I believe that he would be able to converse with the world leaders and stuff about hey, let's take a step down from this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only reason why. Now, I do plan for the next upcoming elections. Now that I can vote, to take a closer watch and the things that happen, because because one thing that I didn't do very well was kind of keep in tune about what's going on, and that's one thing that I should be doing, because I'm a voter, but it's my responsibility to watch the debates, everything that's going on, and to kind of get a feel about who I want for president. That's my mistake. So I don't really know who Kamala was, but I knew Trump from the past.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm not trying to argue or have a bad kind of taste or anything.
Yeah,
it's just
not what I asked.
Of course.
See, I don't think people understand, and it's amazing how many times I have to repeat this. when I'm asking someone, why are you still supporting Trump? It has zero to do anymore with the election results, right? Because the election happened almost 11 months ago, right?
Mhm.
Literally October 5th
Yeah.
will have been 11 months ago. Donald Trump has been
Uh-huh.
president for 8 months, right?
Yeah.
And if you are going to be enlisting in the military and you have a start date for, you said March, right?
Yeah, March 9th and next year, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you are taking your oath in order to
Yeah.
be a United States military member, okay?
Uh-huh.
I want you to remember what your oath says. I swear to defend the Constitution. I know I've got this, the very beginning first words incorrect, and so excuse me for that, guys.
Yeah.
I swear to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That's right.
Correct. And I can tell you offhand that Donald Trump has actively violated 10 constitutional amendments and 3 articles of the United States
Now,
Constitution.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So that's like my mistake for not like researching more into this.
This is since he's been in office, sir. This isn't when you voted. This is since he's been in office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very interesting. My goal is to not like argue and not take up your time. So thank you for talking. Of course. Thank you for talking. You're very nice, and hopefully you can get the job done or whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah, man. Just keep that in mind for when you actually start, dude. Try not to take an unlawful order. Okay?
Yeah. I got you.
All right, man. Well, keep hit that subscribe button. Come back and listen in, even and fact check me on everything that I say. Okay?
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right.
Yes, that's why I specifically brought up the fact that it's an oath to the Constitution, not to the President of the United States. Let's see. Sorry about that. Thank you, Lee. Is that, yeah, that, I don't know what that guy was doing. He was attempting for some kind of comedy. Britt and Charlie, I don't know why you keep spamming that. Christian, thank you for the floating hearts, and thank you for the party hat. I wish it came up like the stuff on TikTok does, but it doesn't. All right. Which one was funny, Kelly? There was a lot of interesting stuff. All right, I'm going to give this one a break for a second. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Hey, girlie.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I just want to tell you something.
Fucking dino.
Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 43, and my name's Jason.
Okay, Jason. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Well, I appreciate that, Jason, and I'm glad to hear it. You have a great rest of your Monday. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yep, how's it going?
Going well. How old are you?
27.
27. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes.
All right. And what has you questioning your support in Trump or the MAGA movement today?
Well, I'm really looking forward to TND. Have you heard of that proposed new policy?
Is this going to take me to some weird website if I pull this up?
No. TND, it stands for total nigger death.
Yeah, exactly. Go fuck yourself, bro. Yeah, it's about what I thought. Why does it never surprise me? You know, I swear we didn't get any trolls yesterday. I swear we didn't get any fucking trolls yesterday. As far as, like, saying shit like that. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Hey, I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 30 years old. How about yourself?
30. Are you...
Fantastic.
Cool. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Of course I'm supporting Donald Trump. Who else would I support? Kamala?
No, it's September 29th, 2025. Who's the sitting president?
Well, we would have to support someone on the Democrat side,
No,
right?
you don't. You can just do what I
Oh
do.
no,
I don't
you
support
could
anybody.
just be a nihilist and be like, nothing matters. I'm not going to
Oh
support
no, I'm
anyone.
definitely not a nihilist. See, that's exactly
Oh,
why
so
I'm
who should I
speaking out.
support then? Who should I support?
Awesome. So it's not being a nihilist when you're just speaking out against the office of the president or the person that's sitting in the presidency right now. That's not being a
Yeah, but
nihilist.
I'm
I'm
asking,
bringing
who should I
reality.
support?
I'm
Who should
bringing
I support?
reality to the American people as much as possible, and I encourage everyone to fact check me on everything that I say
Right.
because I think that these things are important to talk about. As far as who you have to support, again, you can just be like everyone else that is inherently against Donald Trump at this moment or
All right,
actively against him,
hurry
and
up.
you don't have
What's your
to
point?
support anybody. It's not even difficult because I don't know about you, but I'm
The
certainly not
monologue or what?
beholden to any politician. I'm not beholden to any political party. And so therefore, I don't really feel the need
All right,
to
what's your
be
question?
in support of anyone that I feel like is doing shit
Okay, we
wrong.
get it. You're a nihilist. Okay, what's your question?
Define nihilism.
It just means you don't really care about anything. Whoever wins, they're all the same. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna sit this one out.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Incorrect.
All right, go ahead. What's your question?
Cool. Tell me 3 lies that Donald Trump has told.
Well, first off, he said I would get sick and tired of winning, and I haven't gotten tired just yet.
Mm-hmm.
Does that count as a lie?
No, name me 3 lies that Donald Trump has told since he's been inaugurated into office.
Well, so that was maybe the first one. The second one was he said he would end the war with Ukraine, and he didn't do that. And then the third one is he said I would get sick and tired of winning, and I haven't gotten sick and tired just yet.
You already said that one, so
Well, that's a big lie. It should count as 2, no?
no.
No? Okay. Go ahead. What's your response to that?
What's my response to you just saying words?
Well, I'm responding very succinctly to your questions. Unlike you, who
Barely.
monologues on and on.
Oh, you don't like it when people talk and more than one sentence?
Well, I mean, more than one sentence is fine, but less than 45 would be ideal.
Oh, when did I say 45 sentences?
Well, you're going like, oh, actually, just because I'm speaking out against the president doesn't mean that I need to be considered a nihilist. Actually, anyone should be able
Yeah,
to
which you
speak.
failed to define.
Well, I did define it. It's
No,
it's
you
you.
failed to
You're
define
like,
it.
oh,
I said,
nothing matters.
I always
Everyone's
wonder
kind of
what
the
people
same.
are
Doesn't
thinking
matter.
when I ask a question like, what is the definition of nihilism? I didn't ask what is your definition of nihilism. It's what
Yeah,
is
yeah. I
the
told you.
definition of
I read the
nihilism.
definition.
And you certainly
It
did
says
not.
it's
Okay,
Ariana
so
the
let's
mermaid or whatever her
see.
name.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So has Donald Trump ended 7 wars?
Close to it at least.
Oh, okay. What wars has he ended?
Well, he ended the wars with Antifa. Antifa used to not be a terrorist organization, and now they are.
You're not a real person. And I'd like to know where we were waging war with Antifa. Bruh. Guys, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button over on the tubes. Over on TikTok, hit that follow button up at the top. It's the red one right up at the top. And after you hit the follow button, send your daily heart me. It just helps push this out a little bit more to the algorithm. And don't forget to be double tapping that screen, guys, over on TikTok. Let's go ahead and get up to 75,000 likes, preferably in the next 7 minutes if we can. Yeah, I would love to know who the head of Antifa is. It's still always just so fun. And after you guys hit that sub button, don't forget to turn on notifications so you know when I go live or post a new video. Well, thanks, Rodney. First time I've heard you. I'm enjoying you anyway. Haha. Thanks. Thank you for the 10. Silence encourages the tormentors, not the tormented. Ellie Weasel. Weasel? Weasel. Sorry. May have gotten that wrong. And thank you, Caveat, for the $1 as well. So thank you, Paul, for the 5. I don't understand some people today. Can I get a serious MAGA call in? that isn't going to obfuscate and pivot and like toodle toodle little 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 little. Oh, Court, you're fine. Don't worry about it. TikTok is different. TikTok is so different now. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there? Okay. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
Oh, what was that? How old am I?
Yes, how old are you?
25.
25. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
No, I just wanted to call in and say that last guy was a complete fucking clown. And, yeah.
He was.
Fuck
I
Trump,
agree.
fuck pedophiles, you know?
Yeah, man, I agree. You have a great rest of your Monday, dude.
You as well, man. You as well.
Okay. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Hey, I just need to say, like, these conversations right now, like, these guys need to bring their sources, man. They need to bring their sources because for some reason, there's, like, no productive dialogue whatsoever. And I think that's important for a conversation to even be had. You know?
Yeah. Trust me, I go through this with at least 5 phone calls in a row before we actually get anybody to do anything. So, agreed with you, man.
Yeah. Can I also say something real quick? So I was in the chat and I was seeing a lot of stuff happening. You were having a bit of dialogue with someone, and you said that Donald Trump had violated 10, I believe it was amendments in the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Could you please list those so that way we can have better clarity for those people in the chat?
Yeah. First Amendment, Second Amendment, admittedly in his first term. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 10th, 12th, and sorry, not 12th, 14th and 16th Amendments. So that's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 14th, and 16th.
Okay. I just wanted to help out those people in the chat who were saying, you know, what were the amendments violated, you know, that sort of thing. I feel like that's really important to have. So I'm not trying to like criticize anything. I think that would just be really helpful for those people who are either confused or having a bit of issues and stuff with struggling for what like entirely to believe in. So I appreciate you calling that out. Yes.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks. Have a good Monday. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yes.
Awesome. How old are you?
36.
Okay. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Hell no, never have. He and his entire administration need to be taken down permanently.
They're all DEI hires.
Have
Sorry,
a good day.
Hegseth is a DUI hire.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your Monday, man. Thank you.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yes.
Awesome. How old are you?
24.
Okay. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Of course.
Awesome. So what has you questioning your support in Donald Trump or the MAGA movement today?
You fucking nigger.
Can you guys grow up? Oh, you hung up yourself. Thank you, Weston, for the 199. Thanks for doing this work. I'm glad you're trying. I am, guys. I'm trying to have conversations. That's all I want. I would love for the trolls to, like, I don't know, go away, grow up, go play a video game, man. Or, you know what? Go get some. You know what I mean. Go get some. Go find somebody and go get some. Tell me you ain't got no game without telling me. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yep.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 29.
29. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what has you questioning your support for Donald Trump or the MAGA movement today?
It isn't questioned. You asked me if I still support him. I said yes. There's nothing that makes me question it.
Oh, okay. So are you willing or able to admit that Donald Trump is actively lying to you in his current administration?
No.
No? Can you think of 3 lies that Donald Trump has told since he's been inaugurated into office?
Are you going to ask me why I support Donald Trump, or are you
No.
just going to push your narrative in hopes that I respond in the way that you would like me to?
No. I'm not pushing a narrative. I'm asking questions. For why you support Donald
You don't.
Trump, that's not the narrative of this one. This is a support hotline. So this is where I ask you questions, and yeah, I'm going to steer the conversation a little bit. So are you able to think of 3 lies that Donald Trump has told since he was inaugurated into office on January 20th of 2025?
No.
No. Okay. So let's see. Can you tell me, has Donald Trump ended 7 wars?
I don't like the way you're steering this conversation.
Has Donald Trump ended 7 wars?
How many wars did Joe Biden end?
Has Donald Trump ended 7 wars?
Let me ask you something. Do you like this country?
Has Donald Trump ended 7 wars?
Do you like this country?
Has Donald, okay, let's try. Tell me what word you're not understanding out of this question. Has Donald Trump ended 7 wars?
Tell me what words you're not understanding from my question. Do you love this
See, I
country?
don't think you understand how a conversation goes. You don't answer a question with a question or try to avoid answering a question by asking another question.
Well, here's the thing. What gives you superiority in the conversation that makes me have to follow your narrative of the conversation? Am I
Sure,
not
I'll
allowed
help
to
you
ask
out.
you questions?
Can you remind me what number you called?
Am I
Can you
allowed to
remind
ask
me
you
what phone number
questions?
you called?
Am I allowed to ask
Whose
you questions,
show
yes or
did you
no?
call into? Can you remind me? Whose
See what
name
you're
was in
doing
the
right
top
now?
of the screen
Who's
that you
avoiding
called
questions
into?
now? I think
You
you're the one
called
avoiding questions
me.
now, Missy.
Oh,
I
interesting.
don't
Got
know.
it.
This is sounding weird.
You're sounding weird. Like, you don't know how it
I
works
don't
when you
know,
make a
dude. This
call?
is getting
Do you
weird.
think that if you call like your doctor's office and they ask you, hey, we have appointments available, the earliest one is on October 9th at 5 o'clock. And do you think that they're going to accept it when you're like, well, what's the doctor's name? And, or like, well, which doctor do I get to see? Do I get to pick which doctor I see? No, it's the first available doctor, of course, unless you had a preference already stated beforehand and they were literally searching to meet that preference. This is similar enough to you calling like your doctor's office, or they're gonna ask you questions. Are you unaware of how that works?
So you see how while you were talking, I didn't interrupt you the whole time?
Oh,
So I think you should practice that a little bit, first of
practice
all.
that. Oh, you're right, Just. It was not the best
And so
analogy. I
am I
agree.
not allowed to ask you questions, sweetheart?
I guess it would help if you
Because
had
I
even
kind of want
answered
to get
any of
your
mine.
perspective, being that you're such a an intelligent young woman of this country. I just want to get your insight into some of my questions that I have for you, and possibly we can ascertain some level of camaraderie here.
Doubtful.
You don't think so?
Yeah, can you tell me why you called?
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know why you don't
No.
support
Like
Donald
specifically,
Trump.
why did you call me?
Because I thought that you were just so intelligent. I wanted to get your insight into some of my questions.
I
Being
think
that
the
you're so
answer is
intelligent.
yes, Bill.
Do you think the answer is what?
Oh, I wasn't talking to you.
Oh.
Yeah. See, because I'm actively talking to over 2,000 people right now, so I'm just responding to someone in the chat. It's very interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. It's quite
So
nice.
why don't you support Donald Trump? Would you have rather Kamala won the election? Do you think we'd be in a better position now if she won?
I don't do whataboutisms when it comes to the results of the election, nor do I rehash the election results because it's pointless. Literally on
No, there's nothing to
Sunday,
rehash. She won.
literally on
But I'm
Sunday,
just
this coming Sunday, it will have been quite literally 11 months since the election occurred. Donald Trump has been in office for just over 8 months, so it's quite useless to
doing a bang up job, my
talk
opinion.
about who won, who I would have preferred to win. Like that literally means nothing right now. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. And so I acknowledge this fact that Donald Trump is quite in fact the president of the United States, and he quite honestly sucks.
You think? You
You doing good there, buddy? Your service cut out.
Sorry about that. I said, do you really think he sucks?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? That's why I was trying to see if you could even say that or acknowledge that Donald Trump was lying to you, or if you could even tell me just 3 lies. That's a very small ask for 3
But
lies.
I feel like that's steering in a way that makes me paint a picture of him that's negative when I don't have a negative opinion of him.
No, it's just
Do I think he's
questioning
perfect? No.
your
But
dichotomy.
no, what you're trying to do is you're trying to make this a very pessimistic, steered
No, it's not. It's
conversation
actually just trying to
and
see
go
if
straight
you
to
can
everything
have the
negative
capacity of
about
being
Donald
honest.
Trump. You want to steer directly to something negative about Donald Trump. No matter who the president is, they have pros, they have cons. But it's about deciding whose pros are worth proing and whose cons are worth conning.
Cool.
You know,
You remember who Theodore
I
Roosevelt is, right?
of course, but I
Okay.
support
So
Donald
I'm
Trump
gonna read this
because
for
I
you real
believe
quick.
that he stands up for the values that matter the most to me:
I'm
faith,
sure he
family,
doesn't. Yeah.
freedom, and the
Uh-huh.
future of our country. During his first term, I
Sure.
felt like there was real hope for the average American.
Okay, so
Jobs were
we're
coming
gonna go
back.
ahead and
The
read this
economy was
awesome quote
stronger.
for
It felt like we were
Theodore
moving in the right
Roosevelt.
direction. I could afford more. I could plan
Yeah.
ahead. I could provide for my family without constantly worrying about inflation or
Okay.
instability.
So
He
this is
also
a quote
defended
from
religious
Theodore
freedom and
Roosevelt.
didn't
He
shy away
said
from
these
mentioning
words
God and
in
supporting
Kansas
people with
City
faith.
on May 7th of 1918. And so this is what Theodore Roosevelt said. Theodore Roosevelt said, to announce that there must be no criticism of the president or that we are to stand by the president, right or wrong, is not only unpatriotic and servile, but is morally treasonable to the American public. Nothing but the truth should be spoken about him or anyone else. But it is even more important to tell the truth, pleasant or unpleasant, about him than anyone else.
Talk louder so they don't have to hear truth. Classic leftist.
I didn't even
talk
raise my
louder than the
voice.
opposing
My
side in
octave was the
silence.
same. I'm sorry that your hearing is not well enough that you thought I was yelling. When my
You
octaves
interrupted
haven't
me in the middle of
changed.
what I was saying. That was
Oh
very
my.
rude. But I don't know why I
Well,
expected
maybe
more
if you
from someone
stopped
that of
calling
your
me
political affiliation.
sweetheart and stopped acting like, I don't know, a chode, we would be okay. But you don't even know how to act in a respectful manner to start with. You already lost that a while ago.
I feel like I was being very respectful from the get.
No, you don't. You think that you own like some kind of blind loyalty to Donald Trump, which is why I pulled up this quote from Theodore Roosevelt. And again, I'll go ahead and reread it since you were
Oh, when you
actively
interrupted
talking.
me?
You were
My
actively
bad.
talking
Yeah.
instead of listening.
Oh, yeah. You were
Yeah,
actively
it's
talking
okay,
and then you
man.
just interrupt me because you don't.
I mean, I have the option to not hear you ever, so it's the whole thing. To announce that there must be no criticism of the president or that we are to stand by the president, right or wrong, is not only unpatriotic and servile, but is morally treasonable to the American public. Nothing but the truth should be spoken about him or anyone else, but it is even more important to tell the truth, pleasant or unpleasant, about him than about anyone else. Wow. And I think those are great words that we should all live by. And I think that it's very important then that we talk about the truth about Donald Trump and then
Let's
what
talk
he's
the truth
doing and
about
how it's
you since you
harmful
live
to
such
the
this
American
perfect
people.
angelic life.
And since you're incapable of actually admitting that Donald
See what
Trump
she
has
does?
in fact lied to you in any way, shape, or form,
Have you lied?
that's a sad
Have you
part
lied?
to you. And I don't even
Have you lied in
understand
your
why you
lifetime?
can't even admit to a singular lie. You
Sure,
can't
you
even think
lied.
of one.
Have
It's
you lied
quite
in your
sad.
lifetime?
It's quite
I'll
sad of
concede.
you.
I'll concede.
Yeah. Ring, 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 ring. Banana phone. Sorry. Thanks, Soroski. Okay, guys. We'll go ahead and read some of these really quickly. If anyone them states this, he stopped the beginning of World War III by bombing Israel's nuclear site. That's like saying what America did at the end of World War II was an immediate decision, which is not true. I can see what you're saying, Link. I appreciate the $9.99. Thank you, Big Papa, for the 100 twice. Someone's so mad that I was reading a quote from Teddy Roosevelt. It's so crazy. Thank you for the makeup brush. I wish I could see those gifs like I could see on TikTok, but it's okay. Yes, exactly. Another one. Another one is tired of the entitlement of these men, and I want to go ahead and make sure I read out. Lindsay Reed, thank you for the 5. Also, I missed thanking Kristen yesterday for the 10. I'm going to send her a message back over on the Blue app and make sure to thank her that way too, because I don't know if she's in here. But just as we have this brief moment in time, guys, TikTok, you're doing fantastic on these likes. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that follow button or hit that subscribe button. And once you hit those buttons, be sure to turn on notifications so you know that when I go live and when I post a video. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yes,
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 42.
You're 42. And are you still supporting
Yeah.
Donald Trump?
Yes.
Yes. Are you, sorry, what has you questioning your support in Donald Trump or the MAGA movement today?
Oh, well, actually, I kind of had a problem today where my friends were sending me messages saying, oh, Donald Trump's in the Epstein files. And I'm like, I don't think I can be their friend anymore because, if that's true, that'd be like, I'm not going to sit there and defend. But I personally, I can't believe that because he did release the Epstein files, and these judges are blocking it.
No,
And then my friends are like, "Oh well."
I just want to correct you on something. So actively, what's being released are files from the Epstein estates. These aren't files released by Donald J. Trump. And when it comes to the judge and the grand jury testimony, the judge laughed the United States of America attorney that presented the case to them because they gave an erroneous reason that wasn't backed by legal cases, case law, anything, wasn't backed by anything legally that says we should release the grand jury testimony. Grand jury testimonies are usually always sealed. They're never usually actually released. It has to be a very big reason, a very legitimate reason as well for, and I can't think of the word. Sorry, Jocular is going to get on me for that, but I can't think of the exact word that I need. But there has to be a very specific reason that allows them to unseal grand jury testimony for it to be released to the American public. But the judge basically, without actually doing it, basically laughed them out of the courtroom because they gave an erroneous reason for requesting the files to be released. Yeah.
Is that something? Would you like to see the Epstein files released?
I think that anybody that is in the files and that is like shown within the files, so have been on his island or participated in any one of his events, then they need to go the fuck to jail or be criminally charged, civilly charged, whichever way it needs to be, even if it was fucking Mother Teresa herself on those lists. But yes, I would like to see them released as long as the victims' names have been redacted.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
I don't believe he's in it. And I know people say he's acted funny about it, but I don't really see that. But I mean, if he was really on there, I wouldn't defend that, but somebody would have to have really good evidence. But I haven't seen any evidence that suggests that really, because as far as I know, he was the first person to report Epstein to the government when he figured out something was wrong, and then
no, he didn't. That's just what Mike Johnson told you. And Jocular said what they were missing was a compelling reason in order to release the grand jury testimony, which they didn't provide. But thank you, Jocular, for the 2. Yeah, no, he didn't report Epstein to the FBI, sir. He just kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago and banned him from Mar-a-Lago. You should probably stop listening to Mike Johnson and turn off Fox News.
I don't know if that's where I got it from, but it's just stuff I've seen on, I don't know, random Facebook posts and stuff, because I don't know who to listen to. I try to listen to everybody, but it's hard to know who's to trust and stuff, because I don't really trust anybody.
Double check everything you hear then. That's what I encourage everyone to do.
Yeah.
And then also check the bias leaning of all your sources that you pull up.
But one thing I think the left and right kind of need to do is, one way they want to hurt us is by divide and conquer. And so they're, instead of radicalizing each other and making the right more mad at the left and the left more mad at the right, there needs to be some kind of way we can come together and agree on something instead of just pushing each other further to one corner.
Yeah, that's why I host this
Yeah.
one. I try to see if anyone can break through the wall of logic, or sorry, the wall of misinformation and disinformation that they hide behind. And that's why I ask questions like, why do you still support Donald Trump? What has you questioning your support? And then typically, the next question I ask is, can you tell me 3 lies that Donald Trump has told just since he's been inaugurated into office on January 20th, 2025?
What do you mean 3 lines?
3 lies that you know he's told since he's been inaugurated into office.
Lies?
Lies.
I don't know. I can't really think of any lies that he said offhand that. I think there's stuff. Because one thing I've noticed, there's a big difference between Trump supporters and people that supported Biden, and that was, it didn't matter what Biden ever did. They would never criticize him for nothing. But Trump supporters will criticize Trump. If he does something they don't like, they're going to say it. That's why a lot of Trump supporters got mad when he said something about Epstein, or that he thought it was a distraction or something he said, and a lot of people got mad about that.
Like, what bubble
And
do
that-
people live in that they honestly think that Biden supporters were just like, Biden was the best, Biden is awesome, he can do no wrong? Like, what world are you living in? Because honest to goodness, I had somebody on my stream yesterday that just he got so mad at the very first caller that that's all he could talk about, and then was so upset, and all he could do was try to pretzel himself to defend the racist words that came out of Donald Trump's mouth, right? And then I spoke to people on TikTok today that didn't know that Donald Trump was charged under New York Penal Code 175.10 for his felony convictions because he wrote checks to pay off Stormy Daniels and hide the fact that he had an affair, right, with her, right? They didn't even know that he signed a check because they refused to open up the charges when they were filed, the indictment as it was filed, which clearly says check number 000891. They didn't even know that a voucher can be the copy of the check that's placed in there. You want to say that MAGA is able to criticize him? I literally talked to people today that were unable to criticize Donald Trump because they don't know, or they refuse to see that he's done something wrong. Biden didn't do enough when he was president. When he had the majority in the House, right, and then a technical majority in the Senate of the United States, he could have codified Roe v. Wade to be law. He didn't. That's a fucking issue. And then it was overturned, right? Those 2 cases were overturned by the Dobbs decision issued by the United States Supreme Court, June of 2022, right? And then all we heard Biden talk about was the Green New Deal. He talked it up so much, everyone got so hyped up about it, that everybody on the right, thought that this bill had actually passed when it never passed and was never made law. Right? And that's a fault of fucking Biden. Biden was old. He should have dropped out of the race in 2023. He should have never even thought about trying to campaign again in 2023 and given the Democratic Party an opportunity to put somebody else up there to have a primary for.
But that's
Biden has issues. Do you see how I just listed 3 issues that I personally had with Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I'm asking you to give me 3 lies from Donald Trump, I'm asking you to criticize him. And all you did was talk about, well, my friend told me that Donald Trump, blah, 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 Epstein list, and I don't give a shit about what your friend told you. Be critical of Donald fucking Trump. I haven't heard you do it yet.
Well, there are some things I can give. One that I was critical of is the fast track or what that he did. And then now he launched an investigation into that.
Fast track?
What was it? I forget the exact name, but it was where he fast tracked something. The booster or something or whatever that is.
You're awesome.
During COVID.
You're talking about Project Warp Speed, which he copied from
Warp
Germany's
Speed, yeah.
Project Lightspeed, where they did the same thing, and all he literally did was copy something that Germany had already done. Yeah, that wasn't his original idea. And it's very interesting that anybody would say that that was a bad thing and that's something you don't like when it helped millions of American citizens throughout this entire freaking country. I'm not going to talk to somebody that denies the fact that C-19 existed and that it killed people. Is that where you're going down? Do you believe that it wasn't a real thing?
Well, it might have been real, but
Done. I'm literally not talking to somebody that denies the existence of C-19 because people fucking died of it. Thank you, Michael, for the $1. And yes, Jocular, that's my point. Most Trump supporters bend over backwards to defend Donald Trump. Like there is an excuse or defense for everything the man does from most MAGA. That is the majority of the people that I talk to. Like the man yesterday defended what I was talking about, words that Donald Trump literally said out of his own mouth, like he had to defend himself against it. And he even got to the point where he's like, I'm defending myself from what you're saying. Like, I didn't say anything about you. I'm literally just giving you the words that Donald Trump spoke out of his own mouth. Yes, exactly. Not only did people die, but yeah, people are still suffering in experiencing of it now, like actively now. No. Transgendered individuals are not mentally ill, sir. Even, guess what? Gender dysphoria is being removed from the DSM-6. So it's not even going to be recognized as a mental illness because of individuals such as yourself using it against people. It is, yeah. Sure. It's just a way of men to get in women bathrooms. So why don't you tell me, do you have an issue when women go into the men's restroom, or is it just that you have an issue with men going into the women's restroom, meaning that you're acknowledging that men are the issue, so you yourself, Michael, are the issue? Got it, thank you. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you okay? Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yep.
Awesome. How old are you?
25.
25. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
No, never.
Well, I appreciate you, man. You have a good rest of your Monday. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yep.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 29.
And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
I am. But I don't support the fact that when I called in the first time, you interrupted me several times. You were rude, and that's why your pussy stinks. Bye.
You poor little baby.
You're awesome.
Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yes, holy crap, it went through. What's up?
It did. How old are you?
I'll be 33 next month.
Oh, well, happy early birthday. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Currently, yeah.
Currently, yeah. Okay. And what has you questioning your support in Donald Trump or the MAGA movement today?
It's not questioning. I'm trying to get to your questions on the lies. So I'm not really questioning it as of right now.
Okay.
So maybe you can change my mind.
Gotcha. So you want to talk about, you want to provide me 3 lies that Donald Trump has told since he's been inaugurated into office?
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of I think it's hilarious how you're getting them because they don't want to say anything because then nobody wants to admit yeah, he's lied like fucking 500 times. I can tell you one right now. Remember he said oh, when I get in office, the first day I'm going to end the war in Israel and Ukraine. That didn't happen. What's going on now? So there's one lie. And the second one I can think of, I don't know. He probably went to an event last week and said, I hosted the best event of all time. It was an event that nobody's ever seen before. There's one lie. I can like go on. So like those are like, yeah, I'll admit, yeah, dude, this guy lies a lot.
Hey, B Raiders. As you guys are coming in, hit that follow button up at the top if you haven't already. Hey, B. Yeah, he lies all the time. So, yeah, he's kept telling them, this is my best speech I've ever given. This is my best speech I've ever given, which isn't really a lie. That's more of a, he overrated himself at a certain point and then decided that it was incorrect and now it's correct now. Or he considers that he underrated his previous speeches. So this one's even better.
Yeah, no, exactly. So like, I mean, I like what you're doing. Like, I can't I right now can't specifically think of somebody that I support and like dig in. Let me see like where are his lies. Like for now, like that I can think of nowadays like dumb shit like that. But and I'm sure like you can probably say something to me right now. I'm like, oh yeah, did he really say that? Then yeah, that's fucked up. Like right now, the only thing I can think of is shit like that, and I haven't seen anybody past this part yet. So I'm like, I'm calling to say, hey, I'll admit the guy's lied a whole shit sometimes.
Yeah. So so this is more like he said this in his inauguration speech and everything, where he's going to be like a proponent for free speech.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Can you say that again?
He's going to be a defender of free speech.
Do I think so? Not really.
He said it about himself that he's a defender of free speech.
Oh, that he's a defender of free speech. Yeah. Are you asking if I think that, or if he said that and that I think he believes that, yeah.
Well, no, I'm going to see if you would agree that he's lied about it, because he wrote an executive order that directly defies a Supreme Court order that designated flag burning, your own personal flag burning, as a form of free speech, as a freedom of expression. Not only that, he kicked AP News out of the White House for his own personal press conferences, not just with Caroline Leavitt. And what else did he do recently about free speech? Oh, yeah. He specifically has said that he's going to go out after the far left that talk badly about him on national TV, because that's all they got for the ratings.
Did he say that, though? Like, he literally said, I'm going to go after the radical far left for talking bad about me? He said that?
Yeah. Dude, he literally promised it. He said it multiple times.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid. But yeah, I think you're fucking retarded if you're gonna say that. I haven't seen him say that. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. Just gotta disconnect from you now.
Because I said retarded.
Yeah, and then you're going to say it again. Yes, remove that word from your vocabulary. That is a slur. Yes, many Trump supporters remain loyal to him because they see aspects of themselves. Yes. Oh my God, Kayla, so freaking correct. Thank you for the $4.99. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yes. Remove that word from your
vocabulary. Hello. Oh, child, please go play a game. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yes. I'm
awesome.
Here.
How old are you?
I am 37.
Okay. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
I am, and I didn't used to.
Okay, that's fine. What has you questioning your support in Donald Trump or the MAGA movement today?
Well, I'm not so much as questioning it as I am questioning what you think the definition of nihilism is. I was the one asking, like, for you to provide that instead of telling the guy he was wrong. When he said everything's,
sorry, I haven't talked to anybody that asked me to provide that. So then that's also not what he said. So I don't need you to come up here and defend some random dude on the internet that you don't know. I'm gonna give that to him. He's probably was like not expecting to come up and be on the phone, but that's literally not what the guy said. The guy said, "Oh, I don't care about anything because you don't support anybody." That's what the guy said about nihilism. Right, Huey? Very true, Huey. I hope Michael's still in here to read this comment. It sounds very silly when people say that kind of shit. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yes.
How old are you?
19.
Kid, you sound like you are a child. Go play Minecraft, man.
Why would you?
Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Oh, yeah, I am there.
Awesome.
I'm
How
just
old are
watching
you?
the stream. Hold on, I've got to put you on mute. All right.
Yeah.
So I didn't want the reverb. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So, are you still, how old are you?
I'm 38.
38. Okay. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
More or less, yeah.
So what has you questioning your support in Donald or the MAGA movement today?
Well, he's a politician. To get to your next question, he's a politician. All politicians lie.
What do you get out of saying that all politicians lie?
Well, it's just, I find it really disconcerting that a lot of people have forgotten this. It used to be a joke just about how much politicians lied, right? I mean, Trump's lied about a lot of things, 7 wars, COVID, all that. There's also, but then you got people like Kamala Harris. She lied about the southern border. Bush lied about WMDs. You know, it's just something that politicians do. And I find it very disconcerting that people feel like they have to defend politicians and their lies. And I think that's very troubling for American politics in general.
Okay, so if you think that it's troubling for people to have to defend politicians and their lie, then why are you detracting from the question itself of are you
I'm not detracting.
Oh,
I
but in fact
fully
you
recognize that he
are.
lies.
Awesome. So tell me 3 lies that he's told since he was inaugurated into office on January 20th, 2025.
So well, I can't. I'm sorry, but I can't tell you distinctly because I've fallen way out of politics. I didn't even vote in this last election, to be honest with you. But I can tell you right now, he's lied about his. Back in his first term, he lied about his inauguration crowd. That was a clear lie. He lied about he overinflated job numbers. Like I'm not sure if that's necessarily a lie, but I do know that was he overinflated that a lot. And then of course he lied about some stuff in COVID.
When was the last time you paid attention to politics?
Ma'am, I'm going to be really honest with you. And I don't want to be disrespectful calling you ma'am or not. But I'm currently serving in the submarines, and we go underwater for months at a time, and it's really hard to stay current on politics.
Gotcha.
So I just wanted to get my 2 cents into this. I understand why you're asking, because there are a lot of Republicans that do feel that they have to defend these lies, and they don't. I'm just trying to tell them that they don't. You can support a politician. I don't even like to use that term, support, but you can support a politician. Just don't let that politician dominate how you think. Right? I'm very much a constitutionalist type of person. I very much believe that just because you vote for somebody doesn't mean you have to defend them. And as much as I like Trump over Kamala, I did, but as I said, I didn't vote. But I don't think it's necessary for people to defend politicians who inherently lie.
And they don't even know you. No, I agree. See, that's why I went through and I talked about the things that I didn't like about Joe Biden, since somebody thinks that I'm not able to be objective. I don't give a crap about that one.
The only thing is just do it while they're in office. This is the first time I've seen you, so I'm not saying that you didn't do it. I'm just saying to keep politicians on the record and to keep them as honest as we can. We have to call out their bullshit when they're saying it.
Well, I mean, I can be honest and say, in 1 second, Tiki Talkie, that prior to January of this year, I did not have a YouTube channel set up or a Twitch channel set up because I've only been on TikTok doing this for a year and a half now. So that's where I've been. But TikTok was selling, so had to supposedly selling, supposedly shutting down, all of this good stuff, and I had to move around and make some other things so happen. So
Yeah,
yeah, no, I've
yeah.
definitely been talking about it. It's not like people aren't doing it. That's why I love that Teddy
Oh,
Roosevelt
yeah.
quote that people were crying
Yeah,
about.
Teddy Roosevelt is like my second favorite president. So, yeah, I'm a little bit of a history buff. So yeah, that was a good quote to pull up.
All right, well, I appreciate you, man, and good luck.
Yeah, you have a good day.
All right. Yes, they definitely do have the ability to stay updated if they so choose to stay updated. They are limited what information they are provided. That is true, but they can look stuff up. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yep,
Awesome. How old are you?
44.
And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. And what has you questioning your support in Donald Trump or the MAGA movement today?
Yeah, I mean, there's things I question. I get it. I mean, you're right. He's lied. Every politician's lied.
What do you
know,
get
I
out of
mean,
saying every politician's lied?
what do I get out of saying that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the truth. I mean, he has lied. I can acknowledge that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and explain it to you because everyone seems to love pulling out the well, everyone does it card, right? So what it
Right.
is it's a
Does it make it right? No, it
deflection.
doesn't make it.
No, it's a deflection away from the question, right? Which I hadn't even gotten to yet to ask you to tell me 3 lies or to acknowledge that he has lied. It's a deflection and it's also a way to give him a pass. Well, everybody does it, so it's okay when he does it.
Well, it's definitely not. Of course not. No, his line's wrong. I agree with that.
Yeah. So I would encourage everyone to stop saying everybody lies because it doesn't get you anywhere.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, but again, I'm acknowledging. Yeah, he has lied. That is true. But that doesn't. I don't like it. But that again, I bring it up because every politician has lied. And it happens. I mean, you can't go through any kind of our political history and say that no politician has ever had a perfectly clean record with that. So that it does come into fact why when you ask if that's like a point, hey, you're going to have to stop supporting them because of this. Well, that's not true because every politician has lied, so we are somewhat desensitized to it.
Can you tell me 3 lies that you know Donald Trump has told since he was inaugurated into office?
Yeah, I mean, I heard you bring up the one earlier about the wars. He did not stop 7 wars. Sure.
Okay. What else?
Oh man, he still lies about stuff that his predecessors have done. I've heard him do that stuff where it's maybe not. He's telling half truths about things. You know, I've heard him. He's a politician, so I inherently don't trust him, but I tend to trust him a little bit more than maybe the other side.
Do you have a 3rd lie?
Let's see. 3rd lie. Well, I mean, he's lied about Epstein. I mean, that's for sure. That's I think he has the connection there. I mean, there's pictures of them together that he says he hardly knew the guy. I mean, that was pretty ridiculous. It is kind of silly. I get that.
So how about Donald Trump calling himself the peace president and then moving to rename the Department of Defense to the Department of War?
I mean, it's probably more accurate because we always kind of have been a more war forward country. So it's not, it's just a name change. It's like the Gulf of America. It's just a symbolic thing that he wants to do, and that's fine. I mean, I don't get why it makes people so mad.
Which part?
Either one, Gulf of America. People seem to be really upset about that.
Why? Because building up your defense is a more peaceful strategy than saying that you're the Department of War, which implies that you're going on the outward defensive.
Right.
When it comes to the
It's
Gulf
to
of
project
Mexico being
it's to
renamed to the
project
Gulf of America, the reason
authority to the
why
world.
it is an issue for it doesn't project anything. The world already knows that we have the #1 military in the
I mean,
entire world.
China's not far behind us, and
No,
India's
they're still
got
3 years
India's
away
the
from
amount of
us
soldiers that
projection.
India has is a lot more. I mean, if
Yeah,
people,
because what's the
yeah, there's a
population size
reason
of
that we
India?
spend so much on our defense
What's
budget
the
because we have
population
to.
size of India?
It's almost 1.8 billion, something like that. It's huge.
I think it's
I mean,
1.2 billion. Yeah, it's about 4 times the population size
I
of
mean,
the
I doubt
United
they can
States of
even count
America.
it. I
So
don't.
yeah, it would
I
make
mean,
sense that they
are they
have a
going out
larger
to every
military
village in
force in the
India?
United States, and I believe they also require military service for men.
Conscripted military service. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe they also require that, so they are going to have it. But see, the problem is these name changes cost the American people money, right? So right now there's a proposed legislation in Congress that would require every single federal or state government building in the entirety of the United States of America and our United States territories, and our bases overseas to change every single thing that says Gulf of Mexico on it to saying the Gulf of America, right?
I mean,
That
come
costs
on.
money to
The
do.
thing, it costs money when you guys took away Columbus Day too. So I mean, that's
You guys? Who
you
is you
could go back
guys?
and forth. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Oh, wait, did we
I mean,
require that
Columbus
they
Day.
replace calendars that say Columbus Day on
Yeah, they
October 9th
did,
through
dude. You
11th?
live in Denver. You know that we've done that. It's Indigenous Peoples Day. It's not
No,
Columbus
no, I
Day
don't think
anymore.
you understand what I'm saying. When they changed the name, which is recognizing the fact that Columbus committed a genocide on the Native American indigenous population of the United States of America, when they changed it to Indigenous People Day, in the middle of the year, did they require that they change out all of the calendars that were already printed and in existence in all of the schools, or did it still
Yeah, I'm
say
not sure.
Columbus Day?
I mean, they did with the schools, actually. I do remember that. That's true. They did in
didn't.
DPS. They did, actually. They required an immediate change of everything in DPS-related materials and had to reprint a bunch of stuff. So it did waste money. I mean, that's a fact. That's how I get it that you can use that argument, but I'm saying what happens is that you start going tit for tat. Oh, well, you did this, and then we did this, you did that.
What's
It's
the
not
point of
moving
doing
us
tit for
forward
tat? It's
anywhere.
called a deflection.
That's what you just did, the same
No,
thing.
you
That's what, I
just
mean,
you just did a
pointing.
deflection when I was pointing out how much money it would cost us to change it from the Department of Defense or the Gulf of Mexico
Yeah,
to the Department of
it
War
costs us
or
money.
the
That's
Department,
your
sorry,
whole
the Gulf of
complaint about it.
America, respectively. That I brought up how much money would. You are the one who went tit for tat,
How much
not
money
me.
was it? Do you have a
You were the one
figure?
who did the deflection. When you're trying to go
Do you
tit
have
for
a
tat, you are the one performing the deflection, not me. I didn't do
Okay,
that.
sure.
You did
I
it.
I performed a deflection. My apologies. Now, how much money did we spend on the name change? I'd like to know that. You seem like a smart person who has a lot of statistics at hand.
I don't know. You tell me. How much did it cost to
I don't know.
change
You're the
it
one who talked
from?
about how much money it cost. Then tell me how much money it cost so you can convince me that it was a bad idea.
Oh, let's see. Are you talking about for the Department of War? Last time I checked, it was going to be an estimated $3.5 billion.
3.5 for a name change.
Yep. Because you have to
Okay.
change
And
stationery,
where'd
you
you
have to
get that?
change
Yeah,
the
where'd you
name,
get that
you have
source
to
from?
change
Who
it
did
on the
GAO
Pentagon
said that?
itself. You have
Did
to
the
do all
GAO
that.
say that?
No, it's
Did the
it would be
GAO say that? Okay, well then give me somebody that said that because you're just pulling the number out.
Well, you asked me to give you a number, and I hadn't looked up anything,
I mean,
so that's why I was
3.5
asking
billion.
you.
That's an
You
insane
said I
number. I
might
don't
have
believe you. I
known
think
this
you're
already,
lying.
so. Oh gosh.
Because you're very smart, so I get that. But the point is, I mean, it's a name change. That's not the end of the day. That's not like, oh no, he changed the name. This is the worst thing ever. I mean, there's way worse stuff that you could probably argue that he's done that I'd agree with you about.
I was looking up something else because I was curious.
You know, I mean, at the end of the day, though, I will continue to support because I believe in his economic policies. That,
His economic
you know,
policy is stripping away health care from the American people, lying to the
I
American
don't agree
people
with
about
that.
tariffs, which are a tax, right? Tariffs are a tax, which is violating the
They are.
16th
I
Amendment of
deal
the
with that
United
every
States
day. I
Constitution
deal with it
because
every day.
Congress is the only one that is allowed to enact taxes on the American people or corporations in the American government. So who pays when, let's say we have a 15% tax on Germany, who pays the 15% to the American
At
government
the end of the
when
day, the does. Yes,
no,
it
no,
has
who pays
raised
the
prices. I
upfront
deal with it every day.
cost? Who
The
pays the
upfront cost,
upfront
whoever
cost?
imported the material,
So the
whoever imported
American
whatever. Yeah.
importer is paying the 15% for all cost of goods brought into the United States of
Usually it's
America from
split
Germany.
between the two.
Awesome.
Yeah, because they
So
still
that
want
is
the
a
business,
tax
so
on the
it's half
American
is paid.
businesses and on the American people, which makes his act of doing this under an unlawful wartime act or whatever it was exactly that he did, and unconstitutional and violating the 16th Amendment of the United States Constitution.
But has the Supreme Court said that?
Oh, that's not
Has
even
the
something that should
Supreme
be
Court
going
said
to the Supreme Court because this is for
I mean,
international relations. The international relations have nothing to do like with the Supreme Court. They shouldn't even be involved in it.
okay, then what? I mean, what's the solution then? What are you saying? Are we missing a check and balance here that you're proposing that would catch that? Because I mean, again, I can understand complaining about it, and that's fine. But give me a solution. I mean, that's the whole thing that I feel is lacking from the Democratic
Sure.
Party.
What
You
his
got to give me a
solution would be, here's what his solution would be, is to make it an act of Congress to impose tariffs on the American like people in that way against other countries, right? Instead, he's circumventing Congress, which is literally their job. So not only is he violating Amendment 16 of the Constitution, but he's also violating Article 1 and Article 2 of the United
Because
States
Congress
Constitution,
wouldn't do
which
it,
lays out,
and people are sick of it.
well, nothing's even been introduced yet, sir, and he literally has the majority in
Stuff has
Congress.
been introduced all the time since Democrats and Republicans have
Sorry, what is the majority party in the House and in the Senate?
the Republicans.
The Republicans. And why hasn't Speaker Mike Johnson introduced a bill that would ratify his Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs that he enacted?
Because it's not meant to be a long-term solution.
Oh, it's not meant to be a long-term solution. Here, you asked me what my solution would be to bring back manufacturing to America. Subsidies, sir. If we provided subsidies or a benefit to companies to reopen like businesses in America, to break new ground in America, then that would actually spurn on production in the United States of America. It's very interesting that all of these these plants that are opening up from Honda, not Honda, Honda hasn't opened up anything new, but Hyundai, Toyota, all of these plants that are actively opening up right now, they all broke ground in 2022 and 2023 respectively. So it's just very interesting, like when the unilateral blanket tariffs were no longer imposed against other countries, that two foreign car makers broke new ground in the United States of America.
Listen for a second.
Dude, I was still in the middle of talking. I was still in the middle of talking. At no point did I end my sentence, take a breath, or anything. You were the one that were interrupting me. Just because you happen to agree with me at the time, that doesn't stop the point I was trying to make. Because I am not just talking to you. I'm not just talking to you.
Diatribe that's not going to help anybody.
Define diatribe. I guarantee you can't.
Oh my goodness. The point being with this is that if you want to have a discussion,
define diatribe, because I promise you used it incorrectly.
Now you're stuck on that instead of going to where the conversation should be, which is where we were agreeing on something about how to bring manufacturing back to America. You now want to talk about the definition of diatribe. You know, I mean, it's you
brought it up and used it incorrectly, and words have meaning, and you interrupted me the entire time.
It was a diatribe.
Define diatribe.
It wasn't a diatribe because this whole thing is a diatribe against Trump, which is fine. You have a right to do that because this is America. But you're right. In that specific instance, it wasn't diatribe. Great job. Now
Correct.
we move on to the important stuff. And the important
Yeah.
stuff here is that I'm saying, yes, subsidies help. Also, lowering the corporate tax rate. The problem is Democrats will then say that's all corporate welfare. And then your whole party is against it. And it's not going to happen.
So where were
when
the
Trump
new
lowered the corporate
manufacturer?
tax rate and brought stuff back to America, then it increased the overall level of taxes because we're bringing in more revenue. And that's something that I feel like the Democrats seem to understand.
So where were all the new plants opening up in 2018 after the corporate tax rate was lowered from 35% to 21%? Where were all
Yeah,
the car manufacturers being opened up in 2018, 2019?
There were, I believe there was one in Tennessee that opened up, or was it Tennessee? I'd have to look it up. But yeah, there weren't as many as Trump said there were going to be. I'll acknowledge that. Yeah, that's true.
No, we
But
actually had more open up overseas. So specifically, like Ford broke new ground on manufacturing in Mexico and Canada during the Trump administration because of his renegotiation of NAFTA, which turned into the USMCA, the United States Mexico Canada trade agreement. And then John Deere also like moved some of their production. Harley Davidson also moved some of their production overseas, specifically Mexico and Canada, right? And what we actually saw happen is when Joe Biden only kept targeted tariffs and removed the blanket tariffs that were placed on foreign countries, we saw manufacturing assembly coming into the United States of America, where again, we had car companies like Hyundai, Toyota broke new ground in 2022. There was nothing that was affected by the corporate tax rate lowering. In fact, we saw the wealth gap get even larger after the corporate tax break, right? And we saw that
because Trump
fewer
also
companies
lowered
actually
the
even paid their the wages didn't even go up respectively when the corporate tax rate was lowered. Nothing was actually trickled down because trickle down economics just literally doesn't work. It's
It means
never worked
trickle.
since it's been
not, y'all
implemented.
want a river coming down. It's a trickle. It's called trickle
And
down.
it has literally never worked.
It does
has
work. Whether it's the
literally
most effective
never
strategy, we could
worked.
argue about that. But it does actually work. You can literally prove that trickle down does provide economic benefit. Whether it's enough, I don't know. We can argue about that. But to act like it doesn't exist is just silly.
No, I
mean,
didn't say it doesn't
money
work.
does
I asked if it. I didn't say if it didn't exist. I asked
Money
if it
does
worked, and I said it doesn't work.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
it's not the most effective strategy. I agree with that. I mean,
It's always
there
funny
are things
that
I agree with the Democrats about.
what I love
which
on
are
this
like
one is because are you familiar with Penn Wharton?
I'm not. No.
Oh, it's actually the school that Donald Trump went to and received his business degree from.
Oh, okay. Right.
And Penn
Business
Wharton,
school,
right? The college that Donald Trump went to and received his
Right.
business degree from, also agrees with me that trickle down economics does not work. So, isn't
What
it
do you
funny
mean
that
does
Donald
not work?
Trump's business school
What
does
do you
not
mean by
work
does not
to
work?
decrease
It's
the
not an
wealth
effective
divide between the lower middle
Okay,
class
but
and the
see,
wealthiest? Isn't that so
that we're
funny
talking
that none of
that
that
we're
works? And oh my gosh, that's
see
so
we're
cute.
not
I forgot that
agreeing
that's what it
on
does.
what the
No, I'm
ultimate
actually
goal.
just utilizing Donald Trump's business school, directly disagreeing with
Yeah,
him to
cool.
make my point,
That's
which I think
awesome.
is so funny.
There's a lot of
And you're
academia
just
that's
so
going to
unable
disagree with you.
to. Yeah, I bet you couldn't even think of one. I'm done. I'm done with being interrupted every 2 seconds. Dude doesn't even know that, like, literally I'm answering a question and you're just like, yeah, I agree with you. I'm like, cool. That doesn't stop me from making my statement or the fact that I was actively talking in the middle of all of that. Keynesian economics. Thank you, Praxis. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know, right? Another one. If I had a penny for every time a caller used everybody lies deflection, I'd pay my med school debt. Well, I didn't do med school, but yes, I 100% agree with you. People would be out of debt. Only other country that got no gun laws in South Africa, and they fucked up every time, just like USA. All European and Australia enjoy civilized life for having gun laws without news blasts every day. Correct. I would have to agree with you there. Right. See, that's a good one too. $7.25 an hour federal minimum wage. Where's the trickle down? It just never comes. Lee, thank you for the 10. Wars, Trump stop. That was when Trump's deployed inside the U.S. on U.S. citizens. Oh, you're talking about the National Guard. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. You just brought the wars home. Oh, I'm so sorry. Another one. Yeah, Pentagon failing its audits. My bad. Thank you, Eric, for the $1.99. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh. I hope that's not true. I hope that's not true. What has worked? Nothing. That's the problem. Okay. Actually, we were probably in our most economically beneficial time in the 80s, where the corporate tax rate was sitting at about between 70 to 80% prior to Reagan deciding to engage in trickle-down economics the first time with lowering the taxes. And they've been lowered and lowered and lowered and lowered and lowered ever since. Hey guys, I don't know if you realize this, but doing this is being involved in politics. But I'm figuring other stuff out on my end for that. And thank you for the €100. I appreciate that so much. Chakran, you are awesome. Thanks for doing this. I hope you will have a great week and won't waddle into some troubles over there. Strong, sweet voice. Keep going as long as you can. Greetings from Deutschland. Sorry, I read that as Germany and then it just came out. My bad. I don't know German like that, but I know a little bit. I do appreciate that so much. I was trying to get to everything. Man, it sits right over the phone number. The phone number is not working at the moment because it's on Do Not Disturb because I was going through all of the chats that I received. Friendly reminder before I open back up the phone lines over on TikTok. Let's go ahead and clear out this 1 penny goal or the 1 coin goal real quick. And if you're new here and you haven't hit that follow button, hit that follow button. Don't forget to double tap that screen. And we're going to try to take at least one more phone call before the end of the day. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Sorry, hello.
Not doing it. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Hello?
Hi. Where are you calling from?
Fuck niggers.
Oh, it was an out-of-country number, guys. Wherever plus 49 is. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yes.
Awesome. How old are you?
28.
And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay. And what has you questioning your support of Donald Trump or the MAGA movement today?
Would it be okay if we just call them criticisms? Like I've been watching the stream and you said that you want to make sure people that support him can criticize him. Is that okay?
Sure.
Sure. I don't necessarily like how he's handling the Israel versus Palestine, some would call it genocide at some point, how Israel's treating the open air prison in Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
That's not too good. That's a really good example of one I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I want there to be more transparency with the Epstein files. But maybe there's stuff behind the scenes I don't know. What's another really good? I think that this one's a little bit more broad, and you can pick it if you like. But I feel like there's things that were sloppy that could have been done at the same time that would have solved problems. Namely, like you talked about the corporate tax, and then maybe if tariffs were used in conjunction, so the trickle down actually happened to some extent by bringing like in production in the U.S. instead of putting in other countries. So if the corporate tax went down with the tariffs at the same time, perhaps that would have been more effective. Those are, I know that one's not so good.
Tariffs were in place. He did sweeping tariffs, not as broad as he did this term, but he did blanket tariffs to get against other countries in his first term with the
Okay.
reduction of the corporate tax rate, and it didn't work then.
Oh, shoot. I guess I wasn't paying as close attention. Well, we can just
Yeah.
disregard that one.
Well, I'll give you an example of one because this is actually something that I find funny, and which is why I know, like, and listen, I'll eat my words if we find out that Tim Cook upholds this. So back when Donald Trump was first president, right? Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, promised an investment into the American economy of $350 billion. And Donald Trump believed it hook, line, and sinker, so much to the point that Tim Cook toured him around a facility in Texas in 2019. And Donald Trump went out on national television and because they obviously televised him touring this facility, and he was like, look at this new facility that just opened up 2019. They're now producing and making iPads just like see tariffs work. And he promised $350 billion investment, and look, it came through. Do you want to know when the factory opened up and had been producing iPads?
Perhaps earlier than that?
2013.
Okay. Was it expanded? Did they bring in new people? Was there literally nothing?
Literally nothing. He
That-
thought it was a brand new facility because that's what Tim Cook told him in order to make him believe that he really did do a $350 investment.
Okay.
And I'm not like
hearing you.
blaming him for it, right? I'm not blaming Donald Trump. Like, he obviously was lied to, but it's the same as what they're doing right now. And thank you
Do-
all for renewing your subscription on TikTok.
Do you think that was? Do you prescribe malice in that regards, or do you think he truly was excited that he thought a corporation was actually going to do something nice for
Oh no,
America?
yeah,
Like,
I'm not saying Donald Trump lied. I'm not saying that at all. I'm
thought-
saying
I
he
thought
was
you
tricked.
said- okay, I heard you say he lied to us. Were you talking about
no.
Tim Cook, or were you talking about Donald Trump? And that
Tim
sentence?
Cook. Tim Cook 100% pulled the wool over Donald Trump's eyes back in 2019 by saying that, yeah, look, Donald Trump, this is a brand new facility now building iPads that we just opened up, and we finished it, and it didn't happen, right? And Donald Trump bought it hook, line, and sinker. Similarly enough, where he's touting that he's brought in all of these $17 billion worth of investments, and we haven't seen anything, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just to play devil's advocate for just a second in that, do you think televising it and touting that they're actually doing something perhaps would have put some pressure on him to actually follow through or put his feet to the fire? So it's like, hey, you said this, that you were going to do it. Here's your opening move. Are you going to bail on it and be a piece of shit? Oh, Harmon, you're streaming. Sorry.
We saw how it went the first time. It didn't work. He literally just said, hey, look, this is a brand new facility. Donald Trump bought it hook, line, and sinker and ate it up. And that's fine. Like, go ahead, eat it up, man. But Donald Trump's going to continue to believe it just because, unfortunately, the main reason why Donald Trump is like, yeah, Apple's going to avoid those tariffs that I'm placing on other countries like India and China. We literally made an exception for Apple products, just for Apple products, because of Tim Cook bribed Donald Trump by giving him a little gold-plated statue with the Apple sign that was literally gold holding it up.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say it would be wrong for me to say that he didn't even need to be bribed? I think that strong American companies, no matter where they're offloading a lot of their labor and their jobs in other countries, that they can get away with it, to a certain extent, it's good for American government to play ball with even the most evil corporation because it is a net good for the country, even if they could be doing better for us. So
No,
when
I
you
think
say,
it's wrong to lie to the American people thinking that we're somehow getting $17 billion worth of investments, meaning that it would spur on job growth, right? Ideally, like if
you
all
all,
of these companies are investing money into the American economy, that should be bringing on and saying job growth, job growth, job growth. But we're not seeing that. And I think that's harmful to the American people, especially the 4.3% show our unemployment rate. And let's just say at least 2% of that 4.3% want to actively get a job and be working or go back to working because people literally cannot survive off of unemployment benefits. Then I think that is harmful to those people that are hoping to find a job, because what we know from the Bureau of Labor Statistics from their most recent jobs report update on September 5th is it's showing that we have more unemployed individuals than we have jobs available right now. So even if, let's say, all 4.3% of them wanted to go back to work, there's not enough jobs for all of them right now. And that's with us doing these mass deportations as well. And I'm not trying to pivot over to that part. I'm just like making that a point. So no, I think it's harmful to the American people that are wanting to become employed and they're not able to find that employment because it's not actually coming and it's not actually existing. Because what we also know, and maybe you haven't heard this, I don't know, but specifically like the oil and gas industry, one United States company is initiating a 25% layoff of all of their workforce starting next month, and then we have about 10 other companies starting a mass reduction in their workforce come January.
okay, so we went from Tim Cook, and I asked if it's the totality of companies, and I'm not trying to backtrack, I'm trying to
No, I'm just
figure
trying
out
to
where we fell
explain
off.
how I feel like it's harmful to the American people that are looking for a job or new grads coming out into the job market, right? Because some people do graduate in December, they get their degrees in December. So it's harmful to them thinking that they're going to be able to get this job. I'm saying that the lie of a $17 billion investment, like total investment in the American economy, which makes, and Donald Trump is saying this is going to bring jobs, this is going to bring jobs, that is harmful to the American people and the people that are able to go into the workforce. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying. That's where I was going
so
from
the,
Tim Cook and talking about the
yeah,
350 that now he's promising a $600 billion investment. Donald Trump's talking about the $17 trillion investment total. I'm saying the lie itself is harmful.
I can appreciate your point you made and about the fact that lie is harmful. But I'm gonna maybe, and I don't want to make you feel unheard, but I do want to shoot my question one more time. Maybe I missed it.
No
But I
problem.
asked, in a theoretical, I appreciate that. In a theoretical where the most evil corporation somehow, all brass tacks, everything down to the nickel, was a net good. Like it was the only company that can make bits and bobs. Bits and bobs isn't literal. It's a product that they have the patent on, and they can make some jobs in America and make some people's labor profitable. So is the government keeping any corporation that is, maybe not any, you can make the whole they're poisoning the water argument, one where the net gain, even of all the like things that they can corrupt and make worse, but a net gain for the prosperity of the people of America, even the layman's, and making their, this is going too long, sorry. I asked if even the most evil corporation, if the net gain is positive, if the government should work with them. And you said, if it, and correct me if I'm wrong, if it leads to having to lie about 17 billion, just lying about how much investments coming into America is the result, then I think that's when you would say no. And I would have to push back and say, I think even then they should play ball and try to keep net gains in America, no matter what they are.
If we actually saw net gains come out of it, then yes, I would agree with you. But I was talking about specifically the $17 trillion investment that he's promising from other countries, which is exceeding their GDP in a year, exceeding their GDP for 4 years. Anyways, the lie itself of saying $17 trillion is harmful to the American people. If we're saying that, let's just say freaking Ford, right? Let's just say Ford promised this large investment into the American economy, and we know, and this is a hypothetical, guys. I'm not saying anything about Ford. I don't know enough about how they run their business, but let's just say Joe and Company is the worst company as far as how they treat their employees, the stuff they post online. Joe and Company is the worst, evilest company ever, right? And they're promising a $600 billion investment into the United States economy. Cool.
Yeah.
It's all fine and dandy for the government to work with them. Cool.
Okay.
If it were to actually bring jobs and actually bring through on its promises. I'm saying that we haven't seen any promises actually come true out of any of the investments or any of the previous investments that were promised under his first administration. And I
So,
think that those lies are harmful.
okay, so he shouldn't say them until they come to fruition, even if he's excited about them. Maybe not. Okay. First of all, I feel like a lot of them are intentionalized, and I think about a different thing, you said you don't think it's malicious. Maybe these are also not malicious, but I think even drumming up the support of one company doing it breaks the taboo of another country coming in, like, oh, I guess I'll invest in America too. Like, yes, some of these people are going to back out, and also, by the way, I don't think it's the GDP of the country. I think it's the trade agreements that help the companies in that. Like, we have a lot more GDP than we have tax revenue, so I don't know why you brought up the entire.
It's not our GDP. I'll explain in a moment. Keep going.
Yeah, even if it's like a half lie or a white lie, or so that's the wrong way. You know what I mean? He said it before it comes to fruition. It drums up other countries to also buy in. It's like, oh, okay, so other people are going in this, other people are going to go into it. That's pretty common, I'd say. I don't think you would push back against that simple psychology that a well-vetted thing is going to bring in other people. So why is that a net negative? Because it makes people, and I don't mean to be glib, but the lie is making people sad. Like, even if he's saying things before they come to fruition, at that point, he might as well just say, if you would have said people are claiming that they're going to do X, it's no longer a lie. If you would have simply added like two more words, I think that's functionally what he was trying to say anyway. And maybe he's just an asshole liar, or maybe two little words like they said is all that would change it from a lie to a truth. And I think that that's okay still. I'd like to hear why that's so bad that he would report other countries are making deals with us.
Okay.
And then they back out later.
It's not even about backing out, it's overinflating it. So what I was referencing is Donald Trump saying that the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, has made a $1.4 trillion commitment.
Over how many years? You said something about 1 year. Many things are over a lot of years.
Yeah, it's over the next decade, but even then, $1.4 trillion is 3 years of their entirety of the GDP. Their GDP right now is $500 billion. So it would take them 3 years, right, to add up to that. And you think that they're going to, like, would any sensible
Not
country,
necessarily.
pledge 3 years of their entire GDP to another country, even if it's broken up over 10 years? Why would they pledge 3 years of their entirety of all of their money that their government can make to another country?
So GDP. So can we just let's just sidebar that just for a second, and I want to say right on that.
Gross
the GDP
domestic
is
product.
gross domestic. Yes. So it's not the money they're making; it's also money going both ways, and it's the idea that they want to raise it. Does a country want to extremely high? Like, the higher number GDP is better always when it comes to a country's productivity and its success. So saying that they want to increase, like, hey, we want to work with you to get our GDP higher by building like business interaction between our two countries to the note of 1.7 over 10 years, that's saying, when you're not saying we're going to give you this amount of money over that amount of time, it's the amount of business we're going to try to drum up between those 10 years, and it's a projection. And the projections are not bad. Nobody can say, when you say GDP, you're not saying a dollar amount that they're going to pay. It's the amount they're going to allow business to hopefully occur.
Then
It's a
why
business
is Donald
transaction.
Trump saying it that he's getting paid from these other countries? See, that's the difference. And even if we're talking about the UAE and their GDP being $500 billion, their real GDP, which is taking an account for like what they owe and shit, is only $440 billion. So even less than what I
What,
originally
what,
said. But
that
it's
has nothing to do with GDP. I don't know why you said, oh.
the real GDP.
So gross domestic product is what that company and their government is trading. What does their dad have to do with any of that?
Let me
Oh,
find
yeah, actually,
his.
sorry. No, yes, that can come into it. Never mind. Scratch that. Still, it's also a projection of what it could be. It's like, once have I said to you, I have a business, you have a business, you sell rubber, I sell cars, I need the rubber for my business. My company makes $1 million, you make $1 million. I want to make a projection of the next 10 years that our GDP, the business we're going to drum up to be able to make us both more proficient is going to be $5 million of trade between our companies in 10 years. It's a projection of how much I'm willing to trade with you as long as growth continues. That's not a lie, it's a projection. And this projection, it doesn't need to come true. It's just GDP. It's
And
how
what
much my
happened when
company is
he
going to
made
trade with
this
your company.
agreement? How did that work out in his first term when he made this agreement with China?
I'm not sure, but I don't think it's ever wrong to try to increase the GDP between two countries. It brings
It's not
a lot of
increasing the
benefits.
GDP between two countries. That's not what that is. It
Gross
wouldn't be.
domestic product. It's the amount of productivity, domestic and foreign, sold between countries and to its own. I don't think that's what you just said is even a fair criticism. I apologize, but if companies in one country start trading or doing more business in our country, both GDP will increase, theoretically, if things go well. Is that unfair?
Again, it is hurtful and harmful to the American people and the populace when it doesn't come through, and Donald Trump is putting it out on the White House website, right? whitehouse.gov, right? And that's in theory everyone can be a billionaire. But United Arab Emirates committed to investing $1.4 trillion in the U.S. over the next decade. Qatar committed to generating $1.2 trillion in an economic exchange between the two countries. Japan announced a $1 trillion investment in the United States, which they rolled back. Saudi Arabia committed to investing $600 billion in the U.S. over the next 4 years. South Korea committed to a $450 billion investment in U.S. energy products. Bahrain announced $17 billion in U.S. investments. Taiwan announced a pledge to boost its U.S.-based investment. That's about the only one that doesn't have an amount tied to it. I'm saying that announcing this and getting it into everybody's head that this money is going to come into the United States and it's going to bring new jobs over the next 10 years is harmful to the American population when it doesn't come to fruition, which is what we've seen in the past with Donald Trump, with his agreement with China that never came to fruition, or any other promises of investments that he had in his very first term that never came to fruition. Theoretical literally means nothing in this case when we're talking about trying to boost the economy. It means nothing. It means nothing until it's actually in hand and true. It's harmful until then.
So correct me if I'm wrong, these deals mostly came off the back of the tariffs. Some are older, a lot of them are newer, correct?
Just off of the idea of tariffs, sure. But he also hasn't removed the sweeping tariffs against other countries, so no.
And so when you want to say things went to fruition or not, why do you get this? If your goalpost might be different than mine, if those people rolled back those businesses because the tariffs were set based off of two major things, and correct me if I'm wrong, just blanket statement here is based off of how they were tariffing us and trade restrictions and unfair market manipulation, et cetera, et cetera. So tariffs were removed, and when those countries not only tried to bring their trade to more equilibrium with us, but also decrease the trade barriers. So when these people offered all this money in trade, they could have also probably offset it with removing trade barriers, which is a big thing he wanted removed.
Yeah, and
So
how
when
is that
people
working
backed
out for the
off, do you
soybean
know
farmers?
to the who?
For the soybean farmers in the United States of America right now.
I'm not sure. Like that's a very I mean, the trades between countries are extremely multifaceted. To use one example, maybe is a little bit too hasty. I just want
No,
to talk
it's
about.
not, because we have direct hand accounts from the soybean farmers, like specific soybean owners in the United States of America, talking about how the blanketed tariffs specifically against China are hurting them because China buys about 60% of all of our exports for soybeans, right? And so now they are no longer purchasing soybeans from the United States of America because of all of the tariffs, the tariff trade war that Donald Trump has started. The tariff trades are a net negative at the start to the American economy, right?
You're right. You're correct to the start. We
Yeah.
don't know
No,
what the end
even in
result's
the
going to
long
be. We're
term,
still pretty
sir,
early.
we saw that American farmers, we had 12,000 or 1,200 legacy farms went out of business in Donald Trump's first term because all they saw, because are you familiar with the farmer bailout from Donald Trump's first term?
Not specifically, no.
No? Okay. So there was a farmer bailout that was done by the United States government in Donald Trump's first term. Unfortunately, what occurred is that the majority of the small or the locally owned farms, the family owned farms, only saw on average about $1,000, which didn't save them from going under. It was all of the big the big farm companies like Purdue Farms that saw the benefit from the farmer bailout. So all we saw was corporations buy up smaller farms while other families went out of business, right? While families lost everything that they had forever, right? Like it is directly harming our farming in the United States of America, right? And even now, like we're seeing that the cost, like, and this is farming industry that I'm talking about, we're seeing that the cost of beef is also increasing at the grocery store, and we're also projecting that the cost of beef is going to continue to increase. Right now, on average, it's at $6.83 a pound, which is the highest that it's been, right? And we're projecting that it's going to go even higher. Our trade that we had with China for their beef market, they're now trading with Australia. They're not even trading with the United States when it comes to our beef anymore. It's literally that they've swapped it over to Australia. When we're having this trade war, we see countries like China, we see countries like Brazil, Portugal, and all of these other countries moving their trade deals to other countries because the United States isn't budging. And so we are losing out on our on our GDP exports to other countries. Like we're literally losing out on our GDP because of our exports to other countries are now going down, right? There are some things that we literally cannot make enough of
How
in the
much are they
United
going
States
down?
of America. So I would have to
How
look
much
that
are
up,
they?
and I'm literally 8 minutes over my show. So right now you're just gonna have to
Oh
deal with
shoot!
me monologuing for a moment, okay?
All right.
Um,
By the way, how am I doing in chat? Are they me live or am I doing all right?
nah, plenty of people like you. So
Yeah.
you're doing good. So
All right. Go ahead. Sorry,
when
you
it
monologue.
comes to certain things not being able to be produced in the United States of America to fully fund our habits, for example, would be like coffee. We put a massive tariff on Colombia and Brazil, which is literally, this tariff is just Donald Trump being upset with their politics and trying to get involved with their politics and their justice system, that he's doing, here's a tariff against you of 50%, right? Because I'm so upset that you're prosecuting my buddy, Bolsonaro, in your country. I'm so upset that you're prosecuting him. Here's my revenge tariff against you that has nothing to do with the economy, right?
But we can still buy from them if we tariff them, right? Like we can, as long as we can still buy from them. That doesn't change anything we tariff them, right?
Okay. We have a 50% tariff on Brazil. Who pays the
Correct.
tariff? Who pays that 50% tariff to the United States government?
So it would probably be the shipping companies, and I'm sure they push the cost onto whoever they want to ship it. And the person wanting to ship their product is probably the person from the other country that's getting to the U.S. So I guess
Incorrect.
it would be them.
Nope.
So you're going to
It's
tell me I'm
the
incorrect, but can you break that down for me?
Yeah, so it's the American importer who pays the tariff cost to the American government. It is not the foreign country, it is not the foreign exporter that's sending the item to us, right? They
You
pay
made this
fees
comment
along the
earlier.
ways for how it gets
Sure.
to us, which is why certain countries are stopping sending any imports to the United States of America to us because it costs them too much money and they're eating the cost, right? But at the end of the day, when somebody's signing over to accept a package of, let's say, $600 worth of coffee beans, right? That the whoever is signing over that package is paying the United States government whatever that tariff percentage is when they are picking up that package. It's
I
literally the
apologize, but that's
American importer.
I'm sorry, but that's extremely reductive. You don't know how they're passing that cost along.
Okay, so sure.
So you
So
don't.
you're telling
You
me
are
that
100%
Tax
sure they
Policy
don't
Center
charge
disagrees
them
with
anymore.
me. Let's see.
You're
What's
saying
the
who
other
when
one? Oh my gosh. Like you're telling me that all of these right-wing think tanks that agree with me, that are economically driven, right? That they're all incorrect when they're also agreeing
Well-
with me that it's the American importer that pays the tariff cost to the United States government, like the Tax Policy Center.
we might be saying two separate things. I'm saying that if you want to be overly reductive, you can say who the person that gave the person the money is the person paying it. I'm telling you, if I owned a company that's transporting coffee beans from Brazil to America, if it was just easy numbers, $100 to do it, now there's a 20% tariff that's going to come in. Be like, hey, it costs 20% of the domestic product coming in. I'm not eating that cost. You're going to pay me $120, and that $20 is just going to pay that fee.
No, it
No
gets
one else
passed
is going
down
to give
to
you
the
a better deal.
consumer at the end of the
It's
day.
not.
So I'm going to go ahead and read this. This is from the Tax Foundation, which again, they are right leaning, but they are usually highly accurate. So this is why I do like to pull them up, even though they lean right. Okay, so we can go here and this is from February 19th, and we're going to go through, and it says President has started his second term in office with announcements of more tariffs. When Trump administration imposed tariffs on various imports in 2018, the stated purpose was to boost U.S. industries and punish foreign exporters. But rather than hurting foreign exporters, the economic evidence shows American firms and consumers were hit hardest by the Trump tariffs, right? So let's see. When the U.S. imposes tariff on imports, businesses in the United States directly pay import taxes to the United States government on their purchases from abroad. The economic burden of the tariffs, however, could fall on others besides U.S. businesses directly paying the tax, including foreign businesses selling goods to the United States, if foreigners lower their prices to absorb some of the tariffs, or U.S. consumers ultimately purchasing the goods if U.S. businesses raise their prices to pass on the tariffs.
Okay. So to be competitive, there might be like a little bit one way versus another. One country with lower tariffs is going to be able to sell their
Sure,
coffee
if
beans
they do that.
differently.
But again, let me be clear. Even with the
That's just economic.
Donald Trump didn't do broad sweeping tariffs against every single country in existence, including in uninhabited islands, right? Where nobody lives, so trade does not go through them. Okay.
Okay.
Let me read this again. When the Trump administration imposed tariffs on various imports in 2018, the stated purpose was to boost U.S. industries and punish foreign exporters. But rather than hurting foreign exporters, the economic evidence shows American firms and consumers were hit the hardest by the Trump tariffs.
Initially, or for in perpetuity.
Long
There's a bit of growing
term.
pains.
Long
Okay, well,
term, it hits
is
us
that your
the
opinion,
hardest.
or is that what it says?
That's what.
I.
Oh my
If it bears out, then it bears
The
out.
economic evidence.
Yes, immediately or after a while. There's growing pains with economics. There's
Growing
economic
pains, yeah.
elasticity, you know?
Long
I'm
term.
saying
I'm
you're
not going to change that. It's still long term, sir. Long term, we're still brunting the effects of the tariffs because hello, inflation. Inflation incurs. Like it's literally how it works. It happened.
we had a lot more inflation over in Biden when he didn't have
Sorry,
the
guys.
tariffs.
This is what I had up there. I realized I didn't have it on all streams, but that's what I had up there. Yeah.
Well,
No.
we should. You already said you're over, so I
Yeah.
feel like I could open up more cans of worms. So, what subject matter do you want to cap this with? I appreciate the conversation.
Sure. I'm going to leave it to say that the lies that Donald Trump tells the American people, such as foreign companies pay for tariffs. I've made this much money, because he doesn't say we have all of these promises. I've made this much money, and everything about the big beautiful bill. Those are harmful to the American people.
I apologize. I had one question. I'm going to kill myself if I don't ask it. It's not like an end of the conversation. I'm mad at you. I'm trolling you. This is the whole MAGA hotline thing. The totality of what I understand, and maybe I need to do better research of the things that Trump does well and Trump does wrong. I will follow him. Sorry, I will follow people that follow a majority of my non-red things I want him to do. And if he does some things that are bad, it sucks. I'll take it. I'll take it as I go. But the totality of circumstances, I like a majority of what Trump is doing. Things can be done better or worse. I like the direction. I will criticize people that do things wrong, but when a politician has to do, especially like a president, has to do a lot of things at once, I'm not going to not vote for him unless they cross enough of red lines for me. Do you get the way that you set this up? I want to know what the end goal of this is. Just criticize people more, because the totality of it is, I don't see where it's going to change, except that we put pressure on them. And that's through the voting booth. But I would have still voted for Trump if I knew everything that he was going to do. I just wish he would have done a lot of things better.
No, it's important to criticize our active sitting president of the United States of America, because unfortunately there are too many individuals that believe wholeheartedly in the lies that he tells, and all they do is they just sit back and pretzel themselves in order to defend him. And here's my biggest thing. I want people to not be, or not, I want individuals in America to not beholden themselves to a party or a politician. At the end of the day, that's what I really want to see. Because when I see people, right? When I see people continuing to defend somebody who has literally done some of the most indefensible acts, minus murdering somebody, in the United States of America, and they have to pretzel themselves into reaffirming their belief in him, I want to remind people, you are not beholden to a politician. You are not beholden to a party. And even you have said some questionable things where I'm just going to continue to support him until he just basically does one big thing that I don't disagree with, right? You are not beholden to a politician.
But okay.
No, I know, and I straw man that, and I'm honest about that. I'm just trying to not delay this any further. No one is beholden to a political party. A political party literally owes you nothing, right?
Okay, but as a realist, if you publicly shout down somebody that is doing 60% of things you like, and then you don't like, if everything like red lines or a higher percentage, whatever, down to the totality of things, someone that's doing 60% of things you like, 40% of things you don't like, if you shout them down, they're going to be less effective at everything across the board if they lose enough support
My
through
voice
midterms,
is
etc.
doing nothing
So
to
how?
Donald Trump. Donald Trump is literally failing in all polls except for Fox News. That's the only poll that that's still rated semi-high. And even then, Fox News has given him negative polling, which he called and cried and bitched to them about after he did so. Literally, Donald Trump is losing his support actively without me even being involved, and he doesn't care. He goes, sorry for my horrible Trump impression. They're lying about me. They say my polls are bad. They're the highest. They're the bigliest polls. I am the best polling president the United States has ever seen.
I am the highest polling president. I am the best in the world. Everybody loves me. They're lying. Tell them to stop lying about my poll numbers. He doesn't care that the American population literally doesn't like him. He doesn't care that
can't run for president anymore.
147 historians rated him the absolutely third worst president from his first term in office, rated by 147 historians, third worst president in our history.
That's a bit of a slant. The older presidents had a lot more tact. We're a lot more divided in this country.
Yeah,
There's
and
a bit of a skew to that.
that's like the app. Like some of them had him literally ranked last. The point is, like you said that he would care. He doesn't, and I think that it's absolutely imperative that we are critical of our government of the United States of America, because if we don't speak out, then we are complicit by inaction. We are complicit in our inaction. Complacency does not effectuate change. And that's the problem that I have. And that's why I'm trying to get people to realize you owe no political party any loyalty. You owe no politician any loyalty. If you want to be loyal to something, be loyal to the words in the United States Constitution that Donald Trump is actively violating.
Yeah,
How about
so, again, I would push back on the idea. There's truth in what you're saying, and I appreciate the gumption, but I still don't see how you push back against the idea of a realist take that moving forward you're going to lose houses and seats in Congress that are supporting some of the ideas of, if it's 60% versus 40%, good, bad, right? And if you push back against the president and his party, it usually goes in tandem. It's very hard to separate the two, if not impossible for the layman. You're against people being dogmatic. I'm telling you, if they crescendo the 60-40, they're going to not get those 60%, those things in the 60% passed or pushed over the finish line if they start ankle biting, or whatever the expression, to undermining their support at the last minute. So if you can push back against that idea, then perhaps I would agree with you that people should kneecap their president the minute something that 40% is too spicy. I think that being dogmatic helps get things across the line. And then the next president, sure, let's figure out what we need to change, but you can't, I don't agree with this ankle biting idea.
I'm not even ankle biting.
Okay, well, I don't think that trying to undermine the public support of somebody.
The public support is literally, he was polling
think,
overall total at 37% as of this morning. So, and that's from Reuters. So I really don't care. You can say that he's literally polling at 37%. He is polling worse than Joe Biden. You just brought up polls. Dude.
No, I was talking about percentage of things you like versus things you don't like. I apologize if that was, when I said that before you brought up the polls, but I was talking about percentage of things you like versus things you don't. Not people liking him, like the amount of policies, I guess.
Sometimes I wish
I apologize if that got misconstrued.
Somebody without being entirely rude to someone that was being polite. I just can't.
So
right,
why
man.
is it wrong to be dog? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. You already passed your time.
Yep, way over my time. You have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
All right, bye. Okay. Yes, I don't think he ended up cracking at all. Another one. I really don't. Okay. I have two things to read. Thank you, Rodney, for the 50. Rodney said, Google gets enough of my money. I like your approach. Thanks again. I appreciate that so much, Rodney. Thank you. That's going to my birthday fund. Dagger, thank you for the 20. Dagger says, my beautiful and amazing future wife, who is definitely not watching me type this, wants to know where you got your top. Probably JCPenney or Kohl's. Yeah, probably JCPenney or Kohl's, Dagger. Yeah, that was a blinder of some sort. That was an extra sort of one. All right, really quickly, TikTok, keep tapping the screen. If you're new here, hit that follow button. I'm going to mute you for a moment. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Okay. YouTube, thank you guys for being here on both of the streams. I appreciate both of you so much. Shout out again to Shokran for being the biggest gifter from all the way from Deutschland. Sorry. I hope to actually learn Germany. Surprisingly, guys, fun fact, I was born in Germany. Yay! Which is why I love saying Deutschland. Also, it's just a fun word. So, shout out to you for being the biggest gifter. I appreciate that for the live. It really does go a long way and help support. And guys, I will be back on live at 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night. Hopefully, I'm also back operating on Twitch. Everything seemed to go well today, so I'm going to give it another go. Y'all have a great rest of your nights and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Hit that subscribe